You only need to know me. I will be the one.
I'll just get right into it. Chapter 1096 is teasing two big moments crashing into the future of the One Piece storyline. God Valley is Thriller Bark, and the return of Kuma and in some ways Rock's Dizabek is another idea we'll touch on as well. Roger's words, "I'm not gonna die, partner." I'll touch on this in another video, but death is not the end in Oda's story. The dead live on. The dead can return in one way or another. Nobody, nothing ever truly disappears. Let's start with Kuma. Is Kuma's Delvert ability more important than we think? I've been told by some of my subscribers that two people have already touched on the idea that there's more to Kuma's power. The One Piece YouTubers Mr. Morge and 333vil, or Evil. And after some research I've noticed this has also been a theory in the community for a while preceding their ideas. The return of Vivi that some One Piece fans have been praying for. I even remember some people questioning the following since the reveal that the real name of Luffy's Delfruit has been erased from history. Could Kuma's Delfruit secretly be a mythical Zoan, not just a paramecia? And so some of you in the comments have suggested Kuma might be a mythical Zoan cat, although I don't know how this fits into Kuma being a bear, or that Kuma might be inspired by some divine cat in mythology. I'll explain why people think this shortly, but my personal opinion on how this might all work is Kuma not actually turning into a cat, but kind of like Luffy being based on a monkey god. The Sun God Gear 5 transformation still looked like Luffy. So what if any awakening of Kuma simply gave him the smoke cloud and that's it? I say this because if you remember back during Skypiea, the Sun God was mentioned alongside several other gods that we have yet to see. The God of the Rain, the God of the Forest, and the God of the Earth. It's possible these gods have some relationship to the Sun God. Maybe the Sun God Nika had friends, a family. Maybe if Nika was a real person from the past, given Saturn calling him Nika as if on a first name basis. Maybe Nika had a pirate crew of his own, the original Joy Boy. Some think Dragon might be the God of the Rain, and so maybe Kuma is the God of the Forest, given the logs we see on his back that he chopped down, or the God of the Earth. We see that the fishmen have marked themselves with the symbol of the sun. Alabasta has the flag of the sun, and King Cobra mentions raising the flag of dawn, maybe the flag of the sun god. We also see the fishman Jinbei underwater visiting a temple that used to house a poneglyph. This temple has the same paw-shaped symbol of Kuma's Delfruit, the Niku Niku no Mi, as if someone with his power had moved it in the past. Imu established Nefertari D. Lily's connection to how the poneglyphs were scattered around the world, and so some think she might have had this power. As we see Kuma's power, his Delfruit ability leave an imprint behind after its use. This was true for when Luffy was teleported to Amazon Lily. When he hit the ground, a paw was left behind. This is true of Kuma leaving behind an imprint on the wall of Vegapunk's lab, where Bonnie found his memories, and possibly true of this temple, and other things being teleported, though the poneglyphs themselves are indestructible and so wouldn't have any markings. Something else people have pointed out to back up the mythical zone god claims I mentioned earlier are multiple cat references in relation to Kuma and Vivi as well. Again, I'm not entirely sold on this idea about Kuma having a mythical zone, but I just want to share with you anyways. Nico Robin is shown thinking of cats on Thriller Bark when Kuma's ability is revealed and explained. The cats appear in a bubble, a thought bubble by her head, in One Piece chapter 484. Some connections in this chapter I just noticed go even further in backing up the connections those of you in the comment section mentioned. Vivi and Lily. Lily may be having Kuma's ability in the past to moving the poneglyphs, the underwater poneglyph that has the paw-shaped symbol. And in chapter 484, we see Vivi sitting on some lily pads. The key word there is lily. Lily pads. This chapter, the cat burglar Nami, again, the word cat. The cat burglar Nami notices that Kuma's ability leaves paw-shaped markings behind. and Nami questions the true nature of Kuma's ability. Nami is the cat burglar. In chapter 1096, we see a character that is also good at stealing or cunning named Jenny, and she is the one that reveals Kuma's power is amongst the celestial dragon treasure. And along with Kaido's mythical Zoan dragon, we see another cat in another thought bubble. Maybe a mythical cat and dragon, as the existence of divine cats in One Piece is confirmed by Alabasta, the arc for Vivi, and the reveal that sea cats are sacred animals, gods. And not only do we see Jinbei by the underwater temple that I mentioned, we see an underwater cat as well. For the cover of chapter 757, Oda presents the mystery of the crying sea kitten adjacent to Jinbei, who is marked by the symbol of the sun, and a temple with the paw-shaped symbol of Kuma's devil fruit power. I would add that there is a growing belief that the crime of Kuma's people, his special race, why Saturn feels as if people like Kuma must be punished and erased from history. It's because the Buccaneers or Giants might have built Noah's Ark in the past. The Sea Kings that stopped Noah's Ark from falling even mentioning that special clan that had the skills to fix the Noah that had been badly damaged during Luffy's battle with Hody Jones. Mind you, even if Kuma can't fix it anymore, the Giants of Elbaf still exist. The Sea Kings mentioned the two sovereigns meeting again, the reunion of two kings, or a king and queen, two divinely anointed figures. Could they be referring to Luffy and Vivi instead of Luffy and Poseidon? A reunion of Joy Boy and Lily maybe? And if this Kuma mythical Zoan stuff turns out to be true, a reunion between two gods, two sovereigns. Chapter 1096 also shows Ivankov referring to Kuma's paws as liberation paws, which should remind you of the warrior of liberation, the sun god Nika. Kuma helping the Straw Hats on multiple occasions reinforces that if Kuma does really have a mythical Zoan god ability, this god might have been an ally to the sun god Nika in the past, the warrior of liberation. The sun god Nika is said to free or liberate people from their pain and suffering. And what do we see Kuma do with the palms of liberation? We see him liberate people from their pain and suffering, just like Nika. Not just during Thriller Bark, when he removed the pain of Luffy and gave it to Zoro, but recently in chapter 1096, when he took the pain away from the children around him. Just like the Gorosei warrior gods under Imu, what if there are multiple warrior gods of liberation under Joy Boy or Nika? If you notice, Kuma has been shown sitting under the sun on multiple occasions, under the sun god, under Nika. Regardless of whether Kuma has a mythical Zoan or even if it's just the Paramecia we now know, Kuma is going to be insanely broken if he returns to normal, when his mind, body, and soul are made whole. And while I would like Monkey D. Dragon to arrive, I'm open to other possibilities, as I think that Kuma could be on the level of an admiral or emperor if he returns to prime fighting form, given how overpowered his devil fruit ability is, how fast Kuma is with it, given how strong he is as a buccaneer and so he has giant's blood. The blood and power of giants flows through him, and especially if Kuma can use Haki again. Maybe the Straw Hats really don't need Monkey D. Dragon. I also made a video in the past on this channel that Bonnie might turn Luffy into an adult, and so Saturn would fight a lookalike of Garp, the former hero of the Marines on God Valley. Maybe Blackbeard even shows up if York is like the Ginny from God Valley, so the Ginny of Egghead Island, leaking the events of the island to pirates like Rocks, but in this case Blackbeard. But Kuma fighting Saturn, defeating Saturn on his own would be poetic justice. Bonnie hints at Saturn's direct involvement in stripping Kuma of his mind, his memories. Kuma is clearly a loyal and protective person. He even promised to never forget Ivankov's face, and we see Ivankov's reaction when Kuma forgot his face during the Marineford War, remarking that nobody should be able to forget a face as goofy as his. But Kuma did. Kuma has forgotten everything, but is likely he'll remember soon. Kuma, who dreamt of being just like the sun god Nika, to save people from their suffering. Devil powers are an answer to people's dreams, aren't they? Well, this is Kuma's. So long as people yearn for it, desire it, dream of liberation, it will never cease to be. So, Kuma is dead, but he might return to life. Resurrection is a central theme here, especially given the church that Kuma returns to live in after the events of God Valley, as well as the Bible Kuma holds in hand as an adult. God Valley and the prayer hands many have pointed out that the mountains of God Valley resemble the hands of somebody praying to God. Biblically speaking, Christ, the Son of God, rose again as well. Death is not the end, neither for Kuma, nor Monkey D. Luffy, and maybe not for Rox D. Xebec either. First, we see that some of the Holy Knights in Chapter 1096 look like the other orphans Big Mom was with, those we thought were dead. Some have pointed out they might have been Cypher Pole agents that we saw during Onigashima, during Wano, but now people think they're Holy Knights. Who knows? Maybe Oda just likes reusing similar designs. But God Valley and the Rox Pirates. This conversation has been going viral on Twitter, on social media. Thriller Bark is essentially God Valley 2.0, or the zombie graveyard or whatever remains of God Valley. It seems that various zombie characters from that arc might be former Rox Pirate members as well as some former now dead Holy Knights. How did Moria get his hands on them? Did Moria go to God Valley? Moria's hometown is said to be located in West Blue. God Valley is also located in West Blue. Moria and Kaido were once rivals, so to speak. Kaido killed Moria's entire crew, and Moria seems to have sought out powerful dead people to resurrect as zombies in hopes that they could help him avenge his people by defeating Kaido. And it seems Moria tried to use Kaido's former crewmates against him to do so. The deceased Rox Pirates, now zombified. It makes you wonder how these pirates died. Did the Roger Pirates, the Holy Knights, or Saturn kill them? Did God Valley actually get destroyed and some of the Rox Pirates got caught up in the blast? If so, just as some of the Rox Pirates made it out alive like Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido, and others died but survived as zombies under Moria, maybe a part of God Valley was also salvaged. Someone named Hunter on Twitter mentioned how the castle on Thriller Bark looks similar to the buildings on God Valley and Kuma's memories from the Celestial Dragon hunting tournament, or at least a different memory of this hunting tournament. The same Gothic or cathedral design. It is said that Thriller Bark is a giant ship formerly located on the Florian Triangle, but Brook reveals that it used to be an island located in the West Blue, where it was built. In terms of Oda further foreshadowing God Valley as an island that moved, on Thriller Bark we also meet the continent puller Oars, the ancient giant that pulled islands centuries ago. God Valley still lives. It does exist. And what the Rox and Roger Pirates were after on that island, wherever it is now, Blackbeard is likely searching for it still, as the inheritor of Rox D. Xebec's will. That's for the next video. Stay tuned. But as usual, we will have to wait and see. Don't forget to like the video, comment with your thoughts below, and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter at the following address at Vinland Ragnar. My Twitter page is on the screen. Also check out my spoiler channel called Vinland, where I'll be covering the One Piece spoilers as well as turning your comments into videos. And check out the One Piece news channel called D-News, where I'll be covering news in the One Piece community. Again, links will be in the description box and pinned in the comments section below. As always, there is more to come. Until next time.